Did you know that despite temperatures dropping to -20 degrees Fahrenheit in winter, thousands of retirees are flocking to Iceland? Picture a 65-year-old couple marveling at the northern lights instead of palm trees. The curiosity lies in how they're affording a country where a simple lunch costs $34. Today, I'm revealing the complete financial blueprint for retiring in Iceland. You'll discover how $2,600 monthly covers a couple's expenses in Reykjavik, the specific visa requirements you must meet, and why the 6-month healthcare waiting period might actually work in your favor. This unexpected retirement destination offers surprising financial advantages that challenge conventional retirement wisdom. Imagine retirement for a moment. The classic American vision likely involves leisurely rounds of golf under clear blue skies, afternoons at the community center, and perhaps a vacation condo in Florida or Arizona. It's the retirement template that's been marketed to us for decades. A well-earned rest after years of labor, filled with predictable pleasures and comfortable routines. But what if this familiar vision isn't actually delivering the fulfillment it promises? The traditional retirement landscape revolves around a surprisingly limited set of activities and environments. Morning coffee with familiar faces, predictable weekly schedules, and seasonal migrations to escape extreme weather create a seemingly peaceful existence. On paper, this retirement template appears well-deserved. However, beneath this apparently idyllic surface, a troubling pattern challenges our conventional retirement wisdom. Recent studies reveal a sobering reality. Approximately 43% of retirees following this traditional path reported feelings of stagnation within just 5 years. Like artists limited to painting with only beige and tan, these retirees find their lives lacking vibrancy despite achieving what society defined as success. Nearly half questioned if this was really what they had worked so hard to attain, suggesting something fundamental might be missing from our standard retirement formula. This dissatisfaction creates an interesting paradox. While the initial relief from workplace demands feels liberating, no more alarm clocks, commutes, or demanding bosses, this freedom often transforms into unexpected emptiness. The predictability that seemed appealing becomes problematic in practice. Without the structure and purpose that work provided, many retirees find themselves adrift in unstructured time, searching for meaning beyond leisure activities. This phenomenon isn't simply about boredom, it speaks to our human need for continued growth, challenge, and purpose. The issue lies in how we've conceptualized retirement as withdrawal rather than transformation. The environments chosen for retirement significantly influence this dissatisfaction. Many popular retirement communities, despite their amenities, create social bubbles limiting exposure to diverse perspectives. These communities often attract people of similar backgrounds and worldviews, creating comfortable echo chambers that ultimately restrict personal growth. The initial reassuring homogeneity eventually becomes stifling. This environmental limitation extends to weather chasing, relocating to consistently warm climates. While escaping harsh winters seems logical, the unchanging climate leads to its own monotony. Seasons provide natural rhythm to our lives, and their absence can flatten the emotional landscape. The perpetual summer eventually feels like living in an unchanging present without the natural cycles that have marked human experience for millennia. This raises a provocative question. Does the conventional retirement dream align with your deeper desires for your final chapters? Have we collectively accepted a vision that prioritizes comfort over continued growth? In contrast, the emerging concept of retirement reinvention offers an alternative approach. This perspective reimagines retirement not as retreat but as opportunity for exploration. Rather than maintaining existing patterns with more free time, reinvention encourages cultivating fresh experiences and environments that foster continued personal development. Retirement psychologists emphasize the vital importance of environment in cultivating fulfillment. Dr. Susan McCarthy notes that the environment in which retirees live can significantly impact their overall happiness and sense of purpose. New experiences can invigorate their lives and combat feelings of stagnation. Her research suggests that strategic change in scenery can rejuvenate engagement with life when many feel themselves slowing down. This explains why approximately 10% of American retirees now choose international relocation, seeking experiences that dramatically differ from previous routines. These individuals actively pursue environments that challenge assumptions and provide stimulation that keeps life interesting well into their 70s, 80s, and beyond. This is where Iceland comes into play, representing perhaps the ultimate counterpoint to the predictable retirement template. Iceland offers the antithesis of predictable retirement, living through billowing geysers, dancing northern lights, and an ever-changing volcanic landscape. Rather than static predictability, Iceland presents a dynamic environment where each day might bring different natural wonders or cultural experiences. The island nation exists as a living laboratory of geological processes. Retirees who choose Iceland report that this environmental dynamism creates a powerful psychological effect. Nature's ongoing creation helps maintain a sense of wonder many find rejuvenating. Instead of feeling life's exciting chapters are behind them, Iceland residents describe witnessing continuous transformation all around them. Icelandic cultural dimensions further distinguish it from conventional retirement settings. Instead of age-segregated communities, retirees integrate into multi-generational neighborhoods, remaining connected to younger generations' energy and perspectives. The country's high value on lifelong learning, arts participation, and outdoor exploration creates natural opportunities for continued growth that align with retirement reinvention principles. Beyond the community structures lies something far more profound about retiring in Iceland: the psychological impact of living where the earth itself remains in active creation. Consider this paradox. The nation named for ice offers more climate comfort than many American retirement hotspots, while simultaneously providing the kind of environmental dynamism that neurologists now link to cognitive longevity and emotional fulfillment. The first time I witnessed steam rising from a hot spring while snow dusted the mountains behind it, I felt more alive than I had in decades, shares Maria, who relocated from Boston 3 years ago. There's something about living in a landscape that's constantly renewing itself that makes you feel your own capacity for renewal. When you picture Iceland, your mind might conjure images of barren, frozen landscapes. Yet this common misconception misses the reality. Thanks to the Gulf Stream's warm Atlantic currents, Iceland enjoys a surprisingly temperate climate. Reykjavik experiences milder winters than Chicago or Minneapolis, a fact that catches many potential expatriates by surprise. The nation experiences 4 distinct seasons, with summer temperatures climbing into the high 70s Fahrenheit, accompanied by the mesmerizing midnight sun phenomenon during the summer solstice. This climate reality transforms the retirement experience. Iceland offers a balanced environmental rhythm that encourages year-round engagement with the outdoors. Morning walks along volcanic beaches in spring, summer hikes through verdant valleys, autumn drives past multicolored mountain ranges, and winter evenings spent watching the aurora borealis create a natural calendar of experiences that keep life fresh and invigorating. The landscape itself serves as a living canvas of renewal. Geothermal activity bubbles just beneath the surface, steam rises from natural hot springs, and occasional volcanic eruptions remind residents they inhabit a place of constant regeneration. This environmental dynamism creates a powerful psychological effect, a sense that one's surroundings evolve alongside the people who inhabit them. The cultural landscape provides equally rich nourishment for the mind and spirit, reflecting the same creative energy found in the natural environment. With a literacy rate approaching 100%, Iceland fosters intellectual engagement at every turn. Bookstores and libraries serve as community hubs. Literary festivals, poetry readings, and author talks occur with remarkable frequency for a nation of just over 370,000 people. From Reykjavik's striking Harpa Concert Hall to small galleries showcasing local artists, cultural opportunities abound. Music festivals span genres from classical to electronic, while theater productions range from ancient Icelandic sagas to contemporary works. For retirees seeking intellectual stimulation and artistic inspiration, Iceland offers continuous engagement. Community connections form another cornerstone of the Icelandic retirement experience. The country's emphasis on social cohesion creates natural opportunities for newcomers to build meaningful relationships. Regular community events, from local festivals to neighborhood gatherings, provide organic settings for forming friendships. the calendar year is punctuated with traditions that bring people together, from the midwinter festival of Thorablot to summer solstice celebrations. I worried about feeling isolated, especially with the language barrier, recalls one American retiree who moved to a small town outside Reykjavik. But I was surprised by how quickly I felt welcomed. Almost everyone speaks English, and there's an expectation that neighbors will know each other. It's refreshing after living in a suburban development where I barely spoke to the people next door. This social integration contributes significantly to Iceland's consistently high rankings in global happiness, safety, and quality of life indexes. The high English proficiency among Icelanders represents another advantage for American retirees. While learning some Icelandic certainly enhances the experience and shows respect for the local culture, daily life doesn't require fluency. Shopping, healthcare appointments, community events, and casual conversations can all happen in English, reducing a common barrier to international retirement. The combination of environmental wonder and cultural richness creates a retirement experience characterized by continuous growth. Many retirees report that this constant stimulation keeps them feeling mentally younger and more engaged than in traditional retirement settings. The dramatic landscape reminds them of life's grandeur, while cultural participation provides purpose and connection. For Americans considering this path, certain cultural adjustments should be anticipated. Iceland's pace of life differs markedly from the achievement-oriented American lifestyle. Work-life balance is a deeply held societal value. Stores close earlier, Sundays remain quieter, and the rushing urgency that characterizes much of American life gives way to a more measured approach to time. Community participation also shifts from optional to expected. While American retirement often emphasizes independence, Icelandic society values involvement and contribution. This expectation can initially feel demanding to Americans accustomed to more individualistic social structures, but it ultimately creates more meaningful community integration. As meaningful as Iceland's community integration might be, many Americans contemplating this northern paradise find themselves stuck on one jarring reality: the price tag. Behind the stunning landscapes and rich cultural experiences lurks a financial equation that seems at first glance impossible to balance. But the numbers might tell a different story than the individual price tags suggest. Iceland's reputation as one of the world's most expensive destinations is firmly grounded in reality. A basic lunch with a drink costs around $34, while a fast food meal runs $21. Grocery shopping presents similar challenges, with a modest 500-gram block of local cheese priced at $12 and a single supermarket beer at $5. Essential utilities for a typical two-person household in an 85-square-meter apartment reach approximately $1,591 monthly, a necessity in a country where winter darkness stretches for much of the day and temperatures drop considerably. Transportation adds another layer of expense. Reykjavik's Strætó buses charge around $4.50 for single journeys, with monthly passes available for approximately $117. While higher than many global standards, this network provides reliable service throughout the capital region and to surrounding communities. Yet when examining the complete financial picture rather than focusing solely on individual costs, a more balanced reality emerges. Housing, typically the largest retirement expense, can be surprisingly reasonable compared to many American cities. Small towns outside Reykjavik offer rental prices approximately $200 lower than the capital, creating significant savings for those willing to embrace life beyond the main urban center. The absence of certain expenses further shifts the financial equation. Car ownership becomes largely unnecessary in Iceland, eliminating payments, insurance, maintenance, and fuel costs from the retirement budget. The combination of excellent public transportation, walkable communities, and bicycle infrastructure allows retirees to reduce transportation expenses significantly. Less quantifiable factors also impact financial well-being. The high level of public safety translates to lower insurance premiums and fewer security expenses. The excellent infrastructure reduces many home maintenance challenges common in other locations. Even the pristine natural environment may contribute to lower healthcare costs over time, though this benefit is difficult to calculate precisely. Iceland's healthcare system represents another financial advantage once residency is established. After the initial waiting period, medical services are available at nominal fees, substantially lower than American healthcare costs, creating breathing room in monthly budgets that American retirees might not initially factor into their calculations. Seasonal variations create a natural financial rhythm different from the relatively consistent monthly budgets many Americans are accustomed to in retirement. Summer months might see higher spending on activities and experiences, while winter naturally encourages more frugal living patterns. When broken down, monthly expenditures become more manageable than individual price tags suggest. The $117 transportation cost for monthly passes is considerably less than maintaining private vehicles. Grocery expenses, while higher per item, can be managed through strategic purchasing and attention to seasonal availability. Housing in smaller communities outside Reykjavik often compares favorably to popular American retirement destinations. The total lifestyle package deserves consideration beyond simple dollar-for-dollar comparisons. The access to natural beauty, cultural richness, and safety has value that transcends typical budget categories. Many expatriate retirees report that their overall quality of life far exceeds what similar expenditures would provide in the United States. The psychological value of living in a society where extreme wealth disparities are less pronounced adds another dimension to retirement finances. Iceland's strong social safety net and more equitable distribution of resources reduces the pressure to maintain certain consumption standards to keep up socially, potentially decreasing both emotional and financial stress. Iceland's high cost of living is balanced by extensive public services benefiting retirees. The infrastructure, well-maintained public spaces, cultural institutions, and community resources represent value that would require additional expenditure in locations where such amenities aren't provided through public funding. Currency fluctuations also influence retirement planning. The Icelandic krona has experienced periods of both strength and weakness against the dollar, creating potential advantages for retirees with dollar-denominated savings during favorable exchange periods. While requiring more active financial management than retirement in the U.S., this dynamic can create opportunities for stretching retirement funds further in this northern paradise. Beyond financial considerations and currency fluctuations, there's a critical aspect of retirement planning that demands equal attention: your health. Iceland's healthcare system presents a fascinating paradox for American retirees. It offers world-class care at astonishingly affordable rates, with doctor visits priced at around $11. Yet it contains a significant challenge that catches many expatriates off guard: a mandatory 6-month waiting period before you can access these benefits. Iceland's universal healthcare system ranks among Europe's finest, providing comprehensive coverage to all residents through a predominantly government-funded model. The system covers approximately 85% of all healthcare costs, with the remaining 15% generated through nominal medical fees paid by patients. This robust public infrastructure delivers exceptional care despite Iceland's small population, creating a healthcare environment that consistently ranks among the best in quality metrics. The 6-month waiting period. New residents must wait 6 months to qualify for public health care. During this period, private health insurance is mandatory. Costs range from $15,000 to $30,000 ISK monthly, which is approximately $215 US. Critical planning is required, especially with pre-existing conditions. Iceland's healthcare infrastructure is strategically designed to serve its population efficiently. The country maintains approximately 60 local primary healthcare centers distributed across its regions, complemented by 2 specialized hospitals in Reykjavik and Akureyri. These facilities provide round-the-clock care, with primary healthcare centers operating 24/7 for immediate medical needs. After completing the waiting period, you'll register with a general practitioner who becomes your primary contact for medical concerns. This establishes your place within the healthcare ecosystem and determines where you'll receive regular care. The system's affordability becomes immediately apparent. Consultations typically cost between 1,000 and 1,500 Icelandic krona, which is about $7 to $11 US. This is just a fraction of American healthcare costs. After navigating those first 6 months, the savings were remarkable, shares Maria Stevens, an American retiree who moved to Iceland in 2019. My husband's heart medication costs dropped by 80%, and routine care became something we could afford without stress. The initial waiting period was challenging, but absolutely worth it. Iceland's healthcare system stands out for its egalitarian approach. There are no private hospitals. Everyone, regardless of financial status, receives care through the same channels. Unlike many other countries where wealthy individuals can opt for premium private care, Iceland operates exclusively through its public system. Inpatient treatment in public facilities is provided free of charge, though outpatient services require nominal fees. The system does have limitations. A significant shortage of specialists, resulting from Iceland's small population and lack of local medical training facilities, can create challenges for retirees with complex conditions. Wait times for certain specialists often exceed what Americans might expect, requiring patience and advanced planning for non-emergency specialized treatments. Medication costs represent another consideration. While prescription drugs are subsidized, patients remain responsible for a portion of these expenses. For those managing chronic conditions, these partial costs can accumulate over time, necessitating appropriate budgeting within your retirement financial plan. Navigating the healthcare transition. 1. Secure comprehensive travel insurance with robust medical coverage. 2. Schedule preventive care before relocating, dental specialist visits. 3. Obtain sufficient prescription medications to bridge the 6-month gap. 4. Research private insurance options specifically designed for the transition period. Once integrated into Iceland's public healthcare system, most retirees report high satisfaction with both quality and accessibility of care. The system's affordability creates peace of mind that's particularly valuable for retirees on fixed incomes. Many Americans express surprise at the stark contrast between the exorbitant healthcare costs they faced at home and the nominal fees for comparable or superior care in Iceland. This healthcare transition process mirrors the larger retirement transition to Iceland. Initial challenges followed by substantial benefits for those who plan appropriately. The defined 6-month waiting period leads to predictable and manageable healthcare costs, contrasting sharply with the often unpredictable healthcare expenses during retirement in the United States. A practical approach involves creating a healthcare transition timeline as part of your retirement planning. Scheduling necessary specialized treatments before departure, researching private insurance options, and budgeting for initial higher costs creates a smoother path. Some retirees even time their moves strategically, planning arrival dates that align with upcoming medical needs to minimize complications during the transition phase. That carefully planned healthcare transition we discussed. It's just the prelude to the most significant challenge for aspiring Iceland retirees. Unlike countries that actively court foreign retirees with tailored visa programs, Iceland offers no specific retirement visa category. This creates a unique puzzle that requires careful navigation once your 90-day tourist window begins closing. The absence of a dedicated retirement pathway means many Americans find themselves caught in a bureaucratic maze they never anticipated. When you arrive in Iceland with your American passport, you enter as a tourist with permission to stay for up to 90 days without any special visa. This period serves as your window to explore neighborhoods, experience daily life, and begin property searches. However, the immigration clock starts immediately, requiring you to submit a formal residence permit application before your tourist status expires if you plan to stay permanently. Iceland's residency requirements center on financial self-sufficiency. For a retired couple, you must demonstrate a guaranteed monthly income of approximately $2,376, which is approximately 270,825 Icelandic kroner. The authorities look for stability and sustainability in your financial situation, rather than one-time windfalls or temporary income sources. Key documentation requirements include pension statements and investment portfolio reports, bank statements showing consistent income or substantial savings, valid health insurance recognized in Iceland, documentation of secured long-term housing, rental agreement or property purchase, criminal background checks from the U.S. and other countries where you've lived. Think of this process as laying the foundation for your Icelandic dream home. Without proper groundwork, the entire structure remains vulnerable. The absence of a dedicated retiree pathway distinguishes Iceland from countries like Panama or Portugal. Instead, most retirees apply under the general means of support category, proving they can support themselves without employment or public benefits. The path to permanent residency follows a structured 4-year timeline. Initially, you receive a 1-year temporary residence permit requiring annual renewal. Each renewal requires demonstrating continued compliance with all requirements. After 4 continuous years of legal residency, you become eligible for a permanent residence permit, eliminating the need for annual renewals. During these 4 years, you face certain restrictions that often surprise Americans. Your permit typically doesn't include automatic work rights, and extended absences from Iceland can reset your permanent residency clock, as the requirement specifies continuous residence with limited allowances for international travel. This system presents both challenges and strategic opportunities. The primary hurdle involves assembling a comprehensive application that satisfies all requirements while navigating a system not designed with retirees in mind. The documentation requirements and procedural nuances overwhelm many applicants. The opportunity lies in thorough preparation. Successful applicants typically begin months before relocating, gathering financial documentation, arranging health insurance, researching housing options, and connecting with immigration professionals who understand Iceland's specific requirements. This advanced preparation significantly increases approval likelihood. Immigration attorneys familiar with Iceland's system provide valuable guidance by identifying potential issues before they become application-killing problems. They can help structure financial arrangements to meet requirements and guide you through procedural intricacies. While representing an additional expense, their expertise frequently determines the difference between approval and rejection. Iceland's growing expatriate community offers another resource for navigating the immigration process. While relatively small, this community continues to expand as more Americans discover Iceland's retirement appeal. Online forums, social media groups, and local meetups connect you with others who have successfully navigated the residency process, allowing you to learn from their experiences and avoid common pitfalls. The bureaucratic complexity should be viewed as a filtering mechanism rather than a barrier. Those willing to invest time in understanding and fulfilling Iceland's requirements demonstrate the commitment necessary for successful integration into this unique island nation. With proper planning and professional guidance, the residency process becomes manageable, transforming from an intimidating obstacle into a series of achievable steps toward your Icelandic retirement dream. While Reykjavik dominates our imagination with its cosmopolitan energy, step outside the capital and you'll discover a constellation of charming towns scattered across Iceland's dramatic landscape. Picture yourself walking along a rainbow-colored street in a fjord-nestled village where shopkeepers greet you by name, or enjoying morning coffee in a northern harbor as whales breach offshore. These alternatives offer unique blends of affordability, community connection, and natural beauty that Reykjavik simply cannot match. As those expatriate communities grow beyond Reykjavik's boundaries, a surprising trend emerges among those who've lived in Iceland the longest. Many eventually leave the capital city altogether, drawn to the country's hidden gems, where costs drop dramatically without sacrificing essential services. Akureyri, Iceland's northern capital, presents perhaps the most viable alternative for expatriate retirees. Nestled at the head of Iceland's longest fjord, this university town of 18,000 residents balances urban amenities with significantly reduced living costs. Housing runs 20 to 30% lower than Reykjavik, with one-bedroom apartments typically renting for 140,000, 200,000 ISK compared to the capital's 200,000, 280,000 ISK. Despite these savings, you'll find theaters, museums, restaurants, and critically, one of Iceland's 2 major hospitals. Venture further to Húsavík, a picturesque fishing village on Iceland's northern coast that's transforming into an expatriate haven. This community of 2,300 people offers retirement defined by breathtaking natural beauty and deep community connections. For For those drawn to artistic communities, Seyðisfjörður on the eastern coast presents a compelling option. Nestled between towering mountains at the innermost point of a fjord, this creative enclave of 700 residents embraces artistic expatriates. Its distinctive wooden buildings painted in vibrant colors create a fairy tale setting. Though housing inventory is limited, those who secure homes here find themselves welcomed into a tight-knit community where creative collaboration happens naturally. As our journey through the land of ice and fire concludes, retirement in Iceland emerges as more than a change of scenery. It's a complete reimagining of your golden years. This Nordic island challenges conventional retirement wisdom through its ever-changing natural canvas, offering constant renewal rather than predictable routine. While Iceland ranks among the world's most expensive destinations, a thoughtfully planned budget of $2,600 monthly can sustain a comfortable lifestyle for a couple who've navigated the residency requirements successfully. The breathtaking landscapes, robust social systems, and exceptional quality of life justify the investment for many expatriates. Could Iceland's unique blend of natural wonder, safety, and vibrant community become your vision for a truly transformative final chapter? The extraordinary satisfaction rates among retirees here suggest it's a question worth contemplating. Here's how to continue exploring retirement possibilities around the world. Join our global retirement tips community by subscribing to this channel and hitting the notification bell. From Nordic fjords to tropical beaches, we're exploring retirement destinations across the globe to help you find your perfect match. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Are you considering Iceland for retirement? What other countries would you like to see featured? Your input directly shapes our upcoming content. Until our next adventure, take Fyrir. Thank you for watching. And remember, retirement isn't about where you end up, but the life you create there.